There's one thing above all else that we as Americans take for granted: our space exploration programs. The American people do not stop to think about where we would be today without these programs. They fail to recognize its integral part in our history. It has shaped our technology, our view of the world, and our way of life in the largest way when compared to any other part of history. Its tendrils pervade into all areas of life and connects different areas of study in ways previously not thought of. Today we reap the rewards from the efforts of NASA and the government in the 1960s, a boom in space exploration. We cannot help the future in nearly as substantial ways when our space program does nothing to improve, or does so at a pace that denies innovation and ingenuity. Considering this, I believe a larger portion of the American federal budget should be devoted to space exploration programs such as NASA and private space exploration companies. This would directly benefit not only space exploration and our understanding of our universe, but more importantly, national priorities, including advances in healthcare, alternative energy research, and improving the environment, all while creating more jobs and remaining a world leader in space. Space exploration is the next logical progression of our species. The Case for Space, an essay written by Dr. Neil deGrasse Tyson, a famed astrophysicist and academic who has worked and studied in the field of space for over 40 years, discusses this in no small detail. Tyson, who often studies the relationship between our culture and space, points out that we are not meant to go to space for the sake of exploration. We are meant to go to space to advance the quality of life here on Earth. While the very notion that humans are innate explorers and always have been is often romanticized in history books, such as Columbus's discovery of America, which was done to explore new worlds, Tyson paints a different picture for us. All throughout history, exploration has never really been done for the sake of science or curiosity, but instead has always been backed by the need to assert dominance or for a monetary reward. Columbus's and Magellan's voyages were funded so that they may find unclaimed riches. Even the moon landing was done to assert dominance. Exploration advances the world not due to its value of satisfying our curiosity, but because of the technological advances that come from the need to improve equipment to make the journey last. When we put money into space exploration, the benefits do not apply to just our journeys in space, but they also improve technology found in other areas of science and allow for innovations that would otherwise not be found. Herein lies the importance of investing in space exploration. Technological benefits gained from these programs make the investment worthwhile, possibly even more than the acts the programs were designed to do in the first place. Take Mars, for example. Deferred Dreams of Mars by Brian Bergstein, deputy editor of MIT Magazine Technology Review and featured in the publication, presents the reality of the situation. While many Americans want to land a man on Mars in the near future, the cost of sending manned missions instead of rovers and robots is questionable at best when looking at the value gained per dollar spent. Beyond just larger rockets needed for the increased weight, humans require continual resources where machines can be self-sustained. Research and tests for sending manned missions provide great technological advances, but the probability of the missions taking place soon is low due to the great data we can gather using the easier to transport machines. Despite this low chance, the push to land a man on Mars has led us to breakthroughs such as the Curiosity rover, a machine whose power source lasts for over 14 years. While still expensive, advances like this have the potential to drastically change life on Earth and beyond, as we know it. Logic may have brought you to the same conclusion, but practical day-to-day examples of these benefits may still elude you. In the spirit of that thought, the paper ESA Space Spin-off Benefits for the Health Sector was written to both qualitatively and quantitatively provide an answer. The authors, all academics with a background leading to either astrophysics or health sciences, aim to describe how the European Space Agency might benefit miscellaneous areas of science, and then provided two case studies to quantify the benefits with tangible numbers, including things such as the ability to be sold, the lives saved, jobs created, and recurring costs. While this is not NASA, the theories and practices would carry over in the exact same way. Studies in technology originally meant for the use of space exploration can be applied in other areas to create spin-off benefits. This paper discusses that even though direct research would indeed work for coming up with new technology, sometimes having a different goal or viewpoint may offer just the tweak to make something a reality that before was not sought after, yet benefits humanity immensely. Here I present the first case study where this has occurred, the Air and Space Plasma. It is a bioprotection system that uses electric fields and cold plasma chambers to kill microorganisms in the air, thus cleaning and sterilizing the environments it is used in. First created to purify the air on spacecrafts where a disease could eliminate the entire crew, it can be used elsewhere, most notably in hospitals, where sterility and anti-contamination measures are of the utmost importance. Many measures have been taken in the past to accomplish similar goals, and while they are not ineffective, the plasma is a single unit that would in the end save money and be more cost effective for a hospital. With the plasma, patients are given an environment that is most suited for recovery, speeding up the process. Human protection and safety is an important facet not only in hospitals, but in keeping people out of them. Benefits to the health sector discusses another spin-off benefit in the form of E-squad genes. Basically, material used in an anti-gravity study by the ESA was then released and formed into protective pants now used by motorcyclists. These pants are made of a material that resists being worn away under high friction situations, such as when a motorcyclist crashes. This type of injury, which in normal jeans would wear away the fabric and damage, perhaps even kill, the motorcyclist, is then preventable. Again, the paper quantifies the benefits of the spin-off, such as cost of manufacture, the lives saved, and the jobs created. With this type of information on specific case studies, they show that and conclude that using technology created for space exploration and spin-offs to other fields of study is immensely beneficial. As briefly mentioned above, NASA's research into alternative energy are stepping stones to change our power sources. Fossil fuels such as gasoline are a major source of grief in the world today, and doing away with these would greatly improve the world relations as well as our impact on the Earth. Discussed at length in the paper History of Electrochemical and Energy Storage Technology Development at NASA Glenn Research Center, found in the Journal of Aerospace Engineering. The desire for lower mass, lower volume, higher efficiency, and more reliable power systems has most often been the driving force behind the development of these technologies. In space missions, size and duration of the power sources is a large concern. Most space expeditions do not have the luxury of refueling, so the sources must last for many years at a time, and to do so they must be efficient. These sources could be adapted for use on Earth, alleviating current energy burdens. There are many different options, each with pros and cons, but all could help to reduce the use of limited fossil fuels and increase the use of alternative energy here on Earth. A major influence in the use of alternative energy is the pursuit of sustainable development, which is the growth of humanity on Earth in a way that meets current needs without compromising the ability to meet future needs. Notable sustainable development challenges include food and water resources, preservation of marine ecosystems, healthcare, increasing population pressures, and major natural disasters. Adigan A. Abiodun, an expert in space sciences, founder of the African Space Foundation, and chairman of the United Nations Committee on Peaceful Uses of Outer Space, argues for the importance of space exploration to sustainable development in his essay, We Must Harness Space for Sustainable Development. In it, he gives information on how our current views of sustainable development, which have been radically modified in the past several decades, is only provided through the use of space technology, such as satellite imagery and global positioning systems. Without it, we would not have the information used in current problem analysis, from climate change and weather forecasts to epidemic diagnostic reports and food vulnerability assessments. Looking forward to solve future problems, improved satellite technology can and must be used if we hope to have a chance at succeeding. In 2010, President Barack Obama laid out plans for NASA and space exploration in general to remain the world leader in space exploration, while in the same plan decreasing and cutting funding to NASA programs. With foreign space programs, like China and Russia, advancing faster than our own, we have a very real possibility of losing this title unless action is taken. The national budget and debt is a very large concern of President Obama's, so increasing funding to space exploration is really not a viable option. However, as discussed above, the benefits from research in space technology outweigh the costs. If needed, I believe that direct funding to some areas of science could be cut and added to the space exploration budget for reasons stated by Neil deGrasse Tyson. The cross pollination of disciplines almost always stimulates innovation. Clearly defined, goal oriented support for specific outcomes in specific fields may yield evolutionary advances, but cross pollination involving a diversity of sciences much more readily encourages revolutionary discoveries. There are also experiments and data that can only be performed and obtained in space. Together, along with reasons mentioned earlier, these could create benefits that outweigh the costs of what we spend. Making the connection between technological breakthroughs and benefits to recovering that money for the national budget is an important note. While sometimes money is not directly made by the government through these breakthroughs, the implications often save money in the long run. Health field benefits increase patient care and increase the health of the general population, which reduces healthcare costs. When health insurance and healthcare are large issues today, if healthcare costs were reduced, health insurance costs would also be reduced, therefore helping the national economy and budget. Beyond just health field benefits, breakthroughs made in America could be traded and sold to the rest of the world for a profit. In the end, the money spent is well worth what we get. Much of the technology, computers, cell phones, GPS, even what is used in NASA missions on Mars today, is due directly to the space race nearly 50 years ago between America and the former USSR. For future generations of people, we must input the money so that they can reap the benefits. By spending the money now, we can spur innovation and create rewards for both current and future generations. As in humanity's past, the United States of America can use the exploration of space as a way of achieving untold technological advances. Spending more of the federal budget on space exploration programs will lead to benefits for the American people. Important issues in present times, such as healthcare, alternative energy sources, and sustainable development, have been helped and can be resolved through space exploration. Just as we have been the beneficiaries of the technology brought about by our past space programs, we must work to better our programs now for future generations. Throughout history, exploration has been driven by the need to better ourselves. Now, it is time to better ourselves further.